Hello candidates, I am going to dictate you a passage of 1000 words which is based on Drdo stenographer. So please get ready for the dictation. The dictation will start after 15 seconds. As pointed out earlier, indigenous development of weapon systems, including ammunition, is a long drawn process, and failures are not uncommon in the learning curve associated with the development process. All the stakeholders, including DRDO, have been working together to resolve the problem, and a majority of the issues have been identified and are being resolved. Ministry has initiated procurement of 66,000 rounds of 125 mm thin stabilized armored piercing discarding sabot ammunition from Russia, along with transfer of technology for indigenous production to Ordnance Factory Board. In addition, DRDO is also developing indigenous 125 mm FSA PDS MK2 version. Ministry has been working in close coordination with all stakeholders to resolve the above issue. However, as pointed out earlier, failures cannot be eliminated altogether in indigenous development and productionization of weapon systems. However, efforts can be made to minimize the failures. Whenever a failure occurs, representatives from all stakeholders are called and they get involved to address the problem. However, the redressal process has been an incremental evolutionary one. A structured mechanism already exists to investigate the accidents and suggest recommendations to avoid such incidents in future. Any accident involving defect in and or failure of weapons, ammunition or explosive is reported to respective technical directorates of DGQA by the user. The concerned technical directorate conducts investigation together with the user and the manufacturer. Wherever required, assistance from DRDO is also sought. In addition to it, regular interaction meetings between the stakeholders, including DRDO, DGQA, OFB, user do take place, where the problems are discussed and efforts made to resolve them. As regards development of modern tank ammunition is concerned, DRDO is already in the process of developing indigenous 125 mm FSA PDS MK2 ammunition. In addition, the ministry has also initiated procurement of 66,000 rounds of 125 mm thin stabilized armored piercing discarding sabot ammunition from Russia, along with transfer of technology for indigenous production to Ordnance Factory Board. It is being envisaged to procure requisite modern plant and machinery from Russia for indigenous production of this ammunition, so as to obviate quality related issues in future. OFB has planned an investment of around rupees 15,000 crore on modernization during 12th plan period. This includes investment for replacement of old plant and machinery under renewal and replacement head and procurement of new plant and machinery under new capital head. The expenditure on modernization is being closely mentioned at the level of board in ordnance factories and ministry. However, OFB shall be requiring timely allotment of funds for keeping their modernization plan on track. Although the DRDO has stated that private sector, particularly in defense R&D, is not desired, but the committee are of the view that DRDO in consultation with Ministry of Defense should encourage private sector in defense R&D so that talent and capacity of private sector scientists may be utilized in developing state-of-the-art products and upgrading of conventional weaponry. The department should believe in the competence of private sector considering the fact that private sector, particularly IT and pharmaceutical industries, are developing many new quality products. The recommendation or observation of the committee stated that although the DRDO has stated that private sector, particularly in defense R&D, is not desired, is not correct and hence needs to be amended. DRDO is of the view that private sector should be involved in defense R&D and the efforts need to be supported. In fact, DRDO has been involving more than 800 big and small private sector industries in many of the development projects right from the developmental stage. DRDO has also supported the creation of Defense Technologies Development Fund to support R&D activities by SMEs. DRDO is also of the view that private sector should be encouraged in defense R&D so that the talent and capacity of private sector could be harnessed fully in developing state-of-the-art projects as well as in developing or upgrading the conventional weaponry. The committee note that the Department of Space and Atomic Energy have implemented performance-linked incentive scheme to their scientists. The committee desire that to motivate and encourage the scientists of DRDO, the ministry should take necessary measures to implement the performance-linked incentive scheme at the earliest. In this regard, it is submitted that the country expects self-reliance in defense technologies from DRDO. Over the years, DRDO has increased self-reliance index in defense technologies from 30% in 1995 to approximately 55% in 2013. It has developed systems produced by production agencies worth more than rupees 1,55,000 crore for induction into the armed forces, which has saved a lot of foreign exchange and reduced dependency on imports, particularly critical systems, besides generation of employment in the country. Therefore, performance of DRDO should be judged in terms of above contributions and not by savings. In this context, Honorable Raksha Mantri has also written to Honorable Vitt Mantri for consideration of PRIS for DRDO. Further progress in this regard will be reported to the Standing Committee. The committee note that in case of airborne early warning and control system, the import content is very high, which is 67% of the composition. This is closely followed by supersonic cruise BrahMos missile with the import content of 65%. The long range surface to air missile is not so far behind with 60%. MBT Arjun has 55% and LCA has 40% import content. The committee also finds that some of the equipment developed by DRDO has import content less than 10%. The committee desires that DRDO should, in collaboration with the defense, public sector undertakings, ordnance factories, and private industries try to develop import substitute products so that dependence on the foreign supplies would be reduced and the country become self-reliant. The ministry have given